Good morning to all of you. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Please fill up your attendance. Link is open. Good. Shall we start? Yesterday we did MCQs and practice for you in Unit 1 and Unit 4. So, Sosat Sandhu, please don't do a personal chat here. Please stop your chit chat. Otherwise, please leave. विनय गोयल फर्स्ट लेक्चर आज सीसी का है ओके सो आप अपनी अटेंडेंस सीसी में करेंगे कुछ स्किप नहीं हुआ है बेटा Shall we start? You need two questions. Types of communication and form of communications. Please define form or types of communication. How many types are available in communication? Okay, Harsh Devani, good. Two types. Which one? Good. Which one? Good, Harsh. Written and oral. But before that, beta, two types. You are wrong, Harsh. विजाला गलत बापू गलत नेहा गलत एक जन ने गलती की सबने कॉपी पेस्ट करके बोल दिया yes good Semina verbal and non-verbal communication so today's winner is Semina next Vijala good Parth Prajapati again galat. Harsh good. Vinay Goyal completely wrong. So there are two forms in communication. First in verbal communication. Second is non-verbal communication. Please define verbal communication or what is a verbal communication. What is a verbal communication? What is a verbal communication? Communication through language is known as verbal communication. Good Vichala. How many times we do a verbal communication? A process of communication through words is a verbal communication. Verbal communication means communication through words and language. Good. Two types. Which one? Verbal communication means oral and written communication. Good. So, first of all, communication is divided by two again, verbal and non-verbal. Verbal communication is also divided by two, oral communication and written verbal communication. Okay, good. What is a non-verbal communication? What is non-verbal communication? What is non-verbal communication? Okay, good. Sapna, visual communication. Okay, any other? Anyone else? Communication through facial expression, gesture, tone of voice, clothing, etc. Non-verbal communication is anything outside of words that can indicate any information through other senses. Okay, good. Non-verbal communication means communication without words and language. Good, Maneha. Vinay, non-verbal communication done by gestures and by act. Okay, good. What is the importance of non-verbal communication? What is the importance of non-verbal communication? What is the importance of non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication is highly effective when people have no time to read sentence. Good. Wonderful, Vijala. Only one importance and only one student is studying here only. It uses many visual means to convey meaning. Non-verbal communication is used to when people are not having time to read sentence. It is known as visual. Okay, beta, I got your point, but my question is that what is the importance of non-verbal communication? उसका importance क्या है? मैं वो बोलना चाहती हूँ. The first importance like means if we don't have a time at that time we are using non-verbal communication. This is important. Another second point is okay, Vinay Goel, no tongue. It means they are speechless. Okay, good. Ranjan, good Vijala, non-verbal methods. Their communication have a quick effect on mind of the receiver. Good, wonderful beta. Next, maps, charts, graphs, symbols are very necessary to convey ideas related to place, data, direction, etc. Okay, good. Non-verbal is easier to grasp the meaning by its type of communication. Yes, good, Samina, wonderful. Next, good, Neha Morwal. Wonderful, it is very useful for the uneducated and illiterate people. Yes, wonderful. Okay, good. Please tell me about the advantages of oral communication and limitation of oral communication. First of all, the definition what is the oral communication and please define advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. Nobody. Face to face conversation is effective and shortage of misunderstanding. Communication that take place through language is oral code communication. Okay, good. Oral communication, it means face to face communication, less misunderstanding has taken place. Good. Please define advantages and disadvantages of communication. What is the advantage of oral communication and what is the disadvantage of oral communication? Okay, oral communication saves time. Good. Next. सिर्फ विजला ही आंसर दे रही है बाकी सब क्या कर रहे हो Communication done through words is oral communication. Advantages saves time as words are understood as soon as they are spoken. Okay, next, Devyani Harsh. Second importance or advantages. Okay, good. Thakkar Amit, there is a high level of understanding. Good. Next. There is a high level of understanding. Good. The receiver's response are non-immediately good. Communication holds a special importance and inflation will be good. Limitations of oral communication is receiver cannot remember the message accurately for a long time. Good seminar. Wonderful. Another advantage is disadvantages of oral communication. Oral communications can be misunderstood more easily comprehend to written communications. Yes, compared to written communication, yeah, good. Obviously. Next, oral communications are feedback response is not immediately okay. Disadvantages of oral communication. Anybody else? Only two way disadvantages. Oral communication or feedback response is non-immediately. It is difficult to give responsibility to anyone for a mistake. If the speaker is not good, it is not effective. Okay, good. A limitation of non-verbal many a time. Time passes in talks, discussion, and no discussion are taken place. Okay, it is useless for a long distance communication unless an instructor like the telephone or radio is used. Okay, okay. Oral communication is less authentic than the written communication as they are informed and not as organized as written communications. Good, wonderful. So now you have all the idea about the oral communication. What is oral communication? Please define a few examples of oral communication. Please give me some examples of oral communication that's taken place. Examples of oral communication. Okay, good presentation. Next, communication through telephone, public speaking, announcement, interviews, good, harsh, personal discussion, good, staff meeting, business meeting, and other face-to-face meeting, good. Wonderful. Now, please define what is a written communication. What is a written communication? Written communication. What is a written communication? What is a written communication? Am I audible? What is the advantage of written communication? What is the disadvantage of written communication? Okay, good. Neha Morwal, Harsh, Ranjan Jadeja. Please define advantages of written communication. And in your examinations, maybe आपको ऐसा difference आ सकता है कि mentions clearly the uses and limitations of oral communication. Otherwise, please compare oral and written communication. Page number 78. Good seminar. It is suitable for long distance communications and repetitive sending orders. Good. Written communication can send to a large numbers of people at the same time. Okay, beta, can send the aega, not send the aega. Seminar. No, please don't do a grammatical errors here. As we have learned auxiliary verb forms. What is the use of auxiliary verb forms? And still you are doing a mistake, Seminar. It is a proper communication system. In written communication, one can read it again and again, take the right decision. Okay, as written communication captures a permanent record, it has a legal acceptance in the eye of law. Okay, good. It has a legal value. Good. Seminar, no issues, but next time please careful. Advantages and disadvantages of written communication. Uniformity in the workplace and in the work procedures can be maintained to the written communication. Good. Yes. It gives necessary instruction, orders, directives, and general information. Good. Written communication consumes more time. Okay. Next disadvantage is the biggest limitation is both parties should know the same. Yes, good. As written communication prepared by maintaining formality, thus this is time consuming. Okay. Immediate feedback is not possible. Good, Vichala. Good. So now you have the idea about the oral and written communication. Please define what is the difference between oral and written communication. Yes, and oral communication is an informal, written communication is a formal. Okay, good. In oral communication, immediate feedback is available to the sender, and in written communication, immediate feedback is not possible. Okay, good, wonderful. Vijala, Jadeja. Oral communication is helpful in large number of group, while in written communication, both the parties should get exact and the same meaning. Good, Samina. Wonderful. Next. Written communication can be used as evidence while oral can't be used. Yes, good. Harsh, wonderful. Communication holds a unique place in getting result while written communication is the most effective and generally accepted method of communication. Good. So these are all the difference between oral communication takes less time while written takes more. Yes, good, wonderful. So these 5 to 6 are the difference between the oral and written communication. You can also apply the examples of communication. Please define 2 examples, 5 examples of oral communication, 5 examples of written communication. Quickly define the examples. Written communication is more reliable while oral is less and not reliable. Yes, good, Harsh. It is not effective in case of emergency. Okay, good. Oral communication also unique. Okay, good. Please define examples of oral and written communication. Define 5 examples of oral communication and 5 examples of written communication. बेटा oral an example लिखो, written उसके examples लिखो. Examples of oral communication are interview, group discussion, telephone talks, fax conversation, and public good. Vichala, Neha Morwal, don't copy paste. Neha Morwal, please don't do a copy paste. Oral presentations, teleshopping, interview, written email. बेटा written email, text department, public ये oral presentation तो written email तो वो तो written मीन्स वो written communication हो गया ना बेटा email. Oral examples as phone conversation, video conference, group meetings, interviews, personal discussion. Okay, good. Now written communication, 5 examples. Written letters, okay. Next, written emails, reports, letters. Interview कैसे आएगा बेटा? Memos, notice, report, minutes, letters, good. Letter, circular, bulletin, reports, newspaper, oral, telephone meeting, discussions, okay. Examples of written communication are letter, notice, reports, through advertisement. Okay, good. So these are the examples of oral and written communication. Next, what is the communication by listening and reading? What is the communication by listening and reading? What is communication by listening and reading? वो कैसे होता है उसका आपको डिटेल लिखना है बेटा, सिर्फ oral communication नहीं लिखना है. आगे गुलाम भाई उनको आगे वीडियो पे उनको कांटेक्ट What is the communication by listening and reading? रीडिंग एंड लिसनिंग द्वारा जो कम्युनिकेशन होता है वो क्या होता है, कैसे होता है? Reading and listening are done by oral communication. Okay, beta, but how? Maintain eye contact with the speaker. Okay, but वो क्या होता है? Okay, you don't get my answer, beta. Actually, चलो MCQs देख लेते हैं. 2 minutes. Last 2 minutes. Which form of communication is mostly used by human beings? Which form of communication is mostly used by human beings? Good. Verbal communication. Wonderful. Seminar. Two-way process is in full of operation in. Two-way process is in full of operation in. Aditi, good oral. When a speaker speaks something, the listener listens, and while in newspaper something is written, the person reads. Okay, oral communication, good. When what innovation has facilitated communication to large number of people at the same time with the same message? Printing press, good. What skills are necessary for receiver of message? What skills are necessary for receiving of message? Speaking and writing, go, no. Galat. Listening and reading, good. What can avoid a misunderstanding or a conflict within organization? What can avoid a misunderstanding or a conflict within an organization? Listening and reading, good. Non-verbal communication is easier to grasp because one is willing to believe what one. Listening properly, good. Non-verbal communication is easier to grasp because one is willing to believe what one sees. Good. Wonderful. A study of body movements as related to speech is called. A study of body movements as related to speech is called. Kinesis. Paralanguage is also known as yes, paralinguistic. Good. Which communication does not have legal validity? Which communication does not have legal validity? In otherwise ऐसा पूछे कि which communication does not have the legal validity in verbal communication, then you can write the answer oral. Understood? क्योंकि वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन में ऑथेंटिसिटी ओरल कम्युनिकेशंस की नहीं होती, रिटन रिकॉर्ड की होती है. ओके बेटा, shall we wind up here? So are you getting the points in unit 2? This means this kind of questions have to be asked in examinations. But in for the internal examinations, unit 1 and 4 for the CC, 50% of your course. And in the final examinations, all units have been to be asked. Okay, beta? आज यहीं रखते हैं, कल फिर से मिलेंगे. तो फिर अभी यूनिट 3 बाकी है, उसका हम डिस्कशन करेंगे और उनको हम सॉल्व करेंगे और फिर इंग्लिश के ऊपर जाएंगे. ओके बेटा, डू यू हैव एनी डाउट? एनीबॉडी? ओके बेटा, बाय.